Om. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, so this is verse 36 we start today. Sukham tvidanim trividham shenu me bharatarshava abhyasadramate yatra dukhantam cha nigacchate. And now hear from me, O best among Bharatas, of the threefold pleasure in which one rejoices by practice and surely comes to the end of pain. Now see Sukham. This verse begins with the word Sukham. And it says it is of three kinds, Trividham. Trividham means it is of three kinds, Shrinu me Bharatarshaba. So listen to me. Krishna is telling Arjun that all action is performed by any kind of three kind of people, Rajasic people, Sattvic people, Tamasic people, but each one performs action only to gain Sukha. Now, what kind of Sukha are they aiming for? A Sattvic person aims for Sattvic kind of Sukha, Rajasic for Rajasic kind of Sukha, and Tamasic for Tamasic kind of Sukha. You know, the thing is that one, like wo English mein kehte na, one man's food is another man's poison. It is exactly like that. That happiness is also of three different kinds. Now, like, you know, the fool who sleeps to eat and eats to sleep again, he is also looking for sukha. But that sukha is what? Tamasic. He only wants to eat and sleep, eat and sleep. So that sukha is tamasic, right? If you tell a sattvic person to do the same thing, he will not. He cannot, because he does not find that sukha suitable to him. Now here he describes three kinds of sukha over here. And that is what this verse is saying. That hear from me, O the best of Bharatas. ये word मैं पहले भी explain कर चुकी हूँ. This is Bharatar Shabha is the sandhi of two words. Bharata, Rishabha. Rishabh is bull. Now you will say कि आजकल तो नाम भी होता है ऋषभ. People keep a name Rishabh. So why do they keep if it means bull? See, the bull in ancient India was a thing people used to revere. Cows and bulls both were revered because India is an agricultural country. At that time, it was a totally agricultural country, and there were no tractors and threshers and all those kind of aids to agriculture. The only aid to agriculture was the bull, who used to be there for the plowing of the field, and cow. That cow used to provide milk, which was a very, very important food. ठीक है ना? तो Bharatarshava means Bharat ka Rishabh. The Rishabh is a person who eats dry straw and gives out so much of effort. Minimum intake, maximum output. Any person who is like that, who for himself consumes very, very little from the society, takes very, very little, and gives a lot to society in terms of effort, that person can be called as Rishabha. So it was a compliment. It was a compliment. So he says, "Me Bharatarshaba" means Bharat ka Rishabh. It's a compliment. Like you get a Bharat Ratna, isn't it? Or you the Shri Awards. So here also, when you say Bharatarshaba, it means Bharat ka Rishabh, means oh great man from the country of Bharata. So, and now hear from me, O best among Bharatas, of the threefold pleasure, three kinds of pleasure, in which one rejoices by practice. Now, what does this mean by practice? ये जो है ना अभ्यासाद्रमते यत्र. Abhyasadhamate means from experience. From experience, you know, this person, ये देखो ये है शांतकम रमते यत्र. तो ही सेज कि ये जो है फ्रॉम एक्सपीरियंस. फ्रॉम एक्सपीरियंस का क्या मतलब? He has either heard that kind of thing or he has experienced that kind of thing. From past experiences, he imagines that this particular thing will give me happiness. And so he practices that alone. ठीक है? तो वो है types by practice from past experience and surely comes to the end of pain. Surely comes to the end of pain means he does experience happiness. He does experience pleasure. पर वो कब तक रहता है? It is ये जो है, you know, there are three kinds. Now we'll deal with those three kinds. You know, every action is propelled by the desire for happiness. Understand that. Every action, whether it is sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic, is propelled by the desire to gain happiness. No matter what one does, one will not move really unless he feels that here I will get a better fulfillment. Children keep changing jobs, haven't you seen? Or they keep changing places where they want to work or stay. Why? People keep building new houses. Why? For a better sense of fulfillment, for a higher level of joy. That is why they do the action. If they feel that this will not give me anything, they won't act in that direction. So the goal is a better sense of fulfillment, a better sense of happiness, a better quality of joy, and that is why they do. But the path that is adopted by them, each of them, is variant, is sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. There are three different kinds of paths and followed by three different kinds of people who act. So that is it. Now, also understand that abhyas, through practice, abhyas, through familiarity. Familiarity means past experience. If he has, I have just told you that he follows or he pursues that kind of path and he readjusts his life, remolds his life according to the thinking from the past and then goes ahead. Come to the next one. Yattagre vishamiva Yattagre vishamiva parinam emrito Yattagre vishamiva ये क्या है यार? How will this be again? I'm not able to. Yattagre vishamiva अच्छा यत्तद् अग्रे विषम इव. It will go like this. You did that. यत्तद् अग्रे विषम इव परिमाणे मृतोपमं यत्तत् सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धि प्रसादजम्. That which is like poison at first, but in the end like nectar, that pleasure is declared to be sattvic or pure, born of the purity of one's own mind due to self realization. देखो ये जो है ना सात्विक pleasure, that is called anashrita sukha. Unashrita sukha is what? The happiness that is not dependent on anything outside. It generates from within you. The happiness that comes through your own mind is called anashrita sukha, not dependent on any situation, any object, or any person. That sukha is called sattvic. Because it comes from where then? It comes from the purity of one's own mind. He says that it comes that ye dekho, that which is like poison at first. Why is it like poison at first? Because you have to make a lot of effort to train your mind. Since this sukh comes from your own mind, self discipline, self-discipline, expansion of the mind to make it an all-embracing mind, to bring in peace, to bring in tranquility into the mind. All this takes a lot of effort because the mind is very turbulent. The mind is all the time jumping up and down, up and down. It is very difficult to control the mind. Now, that is the reason why it feels like poison at first. That means a lot of effort is required in that. Maybe get up early, sleep early, control the senses, don't let your mind just race with anything at all, calm your mind, try to look at things detachedly, look at them objectively. All these are disciplines. And all these disciplines, if you can control your mood, you have controlled. If you can control your mood, then you can control the creations of your mind. Think about it. Your mind creates images of happiness, unhappiness. Your moods, any person who can control his mood has got the key to happiness. If you are dragged by your moods, mood makes you angry, mood makes you irritable, mood makes you happy, mood makes you sentimental, mood makes you want to cry, mood makes you. So then you are a vimudha, as Gurudev used to say. You have done a doctorate in stupidity. You are not only foolish, but you are a doctorate in foolishness, stupidity. That is called vimudha. Now then, learn to detach, and the level of the mood should never cross a danger mark. जैसे कहते हैं ना, आजकल बारिश हो रही है ना, तो the rivers, you've heard ना, it has crossed the danger mark. So moods will change because you have a mind and that mind is turbulent. But you should never, never allow the mood to override you. You should be the ruler of the mood. When you say, okay, shut up, behave, enough. Your mind should be at rest after that. No more talking. Just like you discipline children, same thing. Now, if you do something, you'll be punished. Okay? I have warned you 2-3 times, you haven't listened. Now, if you misbehave, you will be punished. You tell your mind that. And then punish the mind. And Gurudev used to say the best way to punish the mind is fasting. Fasting. When you do that, you punish it 2-3 times. Then next time when the mind is just about to misbehave, something will tell the mind, okay, behave yourself, otherwise no food tomorrow. The whole day you want to go hungry, and the mind will immediately start behaving. So ये देखिए, ये कह रहे हैं कि this sukh, sattvic sukh, is niralamb sukh, anashrit, niralamb. Alamban is crutch, and niralamb is without a crutch. It does not require the help of anything to be happy. That happiness is called sattvic happiness. Hmm? And this happiness has a lot of sense of fulfillment. It can give you complete happiness, poise, peace, tranquility. These are the results of this kind of happiness. It doesn't give you materials. It doesn't bring in crores of rupees to you or 10,000 properties to you. No, no, no. Because it is anashrita. This happiness is not dependent on any one of those things. ठीक है ना? So it gives you a complete sense of fulfillment. There is you feel a sense of gratitude. You feel like you have had a good complete meal and you feel completely satisfied. You say, I don't want any more. That kind of satisfaction is granted by this kind of happiness to you. And करते क्या हैं लोग, once they have a bad mood, not only that they feel unhappy, but with that bad mood, they rub it on all others around them. Now they in turn become unhappy and then they rub it onto further people that they meet. So it has a ripple effect. It has a chain reaction, a bad mood. So control your bad mood. Control it. Not this that you are unhappy and you make 20 other people unhappy that day. Why do it? Why do it? You don't have to go around snapping at people and hurting people, harming them. Hmm? So every beautiful relationships gets harmed by people who cannot manage their moods. You have to be mature enough to be able to manage your mood. ठीक है ना? Unless you do that. अच्छा, then it is over here. Satvik buddhi is nirmal buddhi. Nirmal means without impurity. Mal is impurity and nirmal without impurity. So a nirmal buddhi is a pure mind, and a pure mind, the other word in Sanskrit for a pure mind is prasanna mana. Prasanna mana. You must be knowing some people who are all the time cheerful and happy. Hmm? Yeah. That is the result of a pure mind. Some people always, they are gurgling with laughter. Joy is gurgling from inside them. That is the sign of a sattvic joy, which people get through sadhana. Taken. Initially, it is difficult, as he says, that initially it is vishasama. Vishasam means that lot of effort is required in doing that. But जैसे जैसे वो आपको practice होती जाती है to be able to control your mind, believe me, those people as a prasad get sattvic. ये देखो prasadajam. That means that it is born of prasad. What is the prasad? Prasad is a lot of joy which comes from equipoised mind, a tranquil mind, and a mind full of gurgling with joy, gurgling with all the time happiness. And that is a mind which is an all embracing mind. The mind can be narrow thinking and mind can be expansive. Some people's biography is only me, my life, my possessions, my family. That is all. This is a narrow mind. What is an expansive mind? Expansive mind comes from the prasad buddhi. And prasad buddhi is what? The buddhi that comes to you through sadhana. जब आप साधना करते हैं, जब तप का effort करते हैं, then you get this prasad buddhi. And prasad buddhi is peace, tranquility, joy, and equipoised mind, prasanna mind, all the time laughing, joyful, making others laugh like a child. A child's mind is a pure mind. And that's why you notice children, unki mother unko chaata bhi marti hai na, she slaps him. After a little while, he's okay and he's kissing his mother, embracing his mother, because the mind is pure. Anybody who has a pure mind is very soon, even if he gets angry, even if he gets disturbed in his mind, is very quickly able to overcome that and become poised. जो impure mind है वो क्या है? They tie themselves in knots, and for days together they don't talk to each other. They will have a knot inside their mind. They will have grudges, prejudices inside their mind. They keep on thinking badly of that person. And as Murari Bapu used to say, that कई लोगों का तो चतुर्मासा चलता है. Chaturmasa means that for 4 months they are not speaking. They are not on speaking terms in the same house. Think what an impure mind. How much of impurity is there? तो प्रसाद जो है उसको people mistake prasad for some kind of a sweet that is symbolic, given to you after a puja or an arti. Prasad actually means a pure mind that comes as a result of sadhana, as a result of your sadhana. That is why it is called nectarine. इसलिए प्रसाद हमेशा मीठा होता है, नमकीन नहीं होता. जो प्रसाद दिया जाता है आपको पूजा के बाद, that is always sweet, isn't it? It's not salty or peppery or sour in taste or has chilies in it. No. That is not prasad. Prasad is something that makes you feel joy, peaceful, tranquil. So ये है. Okay, come to the next one. विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगात् अतग्रे मृतोपमं परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम्. Now the second one. This is Rajasic Sukha, called Rajasic happiness. This Sukh, ये पराधीन सुख है. Paradhin means dependent on some object, some person, or some situation. When your happiness is tied to something else, when it is hooked to something else, when there is a condition to your happiness, that if this happens, I will be happy. If this person is good to me, I will be happy. If I get a promotion, I will be happy. If I get an increment, I will be happy. If my disease becomes okay, I will be happy. You know, all these are what? These are paradhina sukha. The happiness that is dependent on something, on some object, something. इसमें क्या होता है? इसमें you lose. And you lose on what? You lose on bal, वीर्य, रूप, प्रज्ञा, मेधा, धन. ये सब चीजें आपकी लॉस्ट होती हैं. क्या क्या लॉस है? बल, because you are making a lot of effort to gain that object. So you are losing effort and energy. Virya is also effort that creates. रूप, देखा लोगों को when they are tense and they are under tension for a long time, उनके रूप का क्या होता है? रूप में डिजीज भी आती है. Your body can either get a disease out of stress, effort, because a rajasic buddhi will make an effort to the extent of ruining his health, ruining his mental peace. And when you ruin your health and your mental peace, what does the roop become of the body? Stress shows on your face, hair gone, face become old, body becomes stressed, full of diseases. That is what happens. So roop gone. Prajna, medha. Medha is memory, and memory to the capacity to retain knowledge. That is medha. वो चली जाती है लोगों की. You know it very well. And haven't you seen people? Hmm. Prajna is sharp intellect to gain knowledge. वो खत्म हो जाता है मेधा और धन. Because in trying to get something, you spend a lot of money. You even bribe people to get your work done. फिर क्या होता है? Loss of money as well. So all these things happen. These are the price that you pay, because, and this is a price generally people do not calculate it in the gains that they have got. So they say चाहे जो हो जाए हमको ये चाहिए. That is Rajasi buddhi. So then they will spend effort, money, just anything at all time to gain that. And once they gain it, ये देखो ये क्या कहते हैं? ये कहते हैं that pleasure which arises from the contact of the sense organ with the object, which is at first like nectar and then in the end like poison. So they have reversed the situation from sattvic to rajasic. है ना? राजसिक में क्या हो गया वो? In the beginning, it is very, very sweet. You get something, and suddenly the agitations in your mind die down. So peace emerges from your heart, joy emerges from your heart. You think that it is coming from that object. It's a mistake. It does not come from the object, it is coming from your tranquil mind. When you get what you were asking for, the mind settles down. When the mind settles down, then the fool thinks that I have got this object and so I have become happy. How nice, how good. अच्छा, तो ये वो क्या होता है? So then you feel very, very nice about it when you get it. And then you calculate objects, situations, everything in terms of money. You do not calculate them in terms of all that you have lost in gaining it. Also, you gain it, it gives you pleasure for a very short time. Gurudev used to say that the joy of gaining anything dies in your own embrace. How soon do you get over it? The charm is gone. Once it becomes yours, the charm is gone. That's why you have so many examples of love marriages. It was a love marriage, and then they got married. Once they got married, then what happened after 3-4 years? They are as eager to divorce as they were eager to marry. Why? Why? Because that charm is gone. That which you do not have always has a charm. Once you get it, then the charm is over. So that is why he says that parinam mein vishamiva. ये देखो second line में है pariname visham iva. Iva means like visha, like poison. Because when it is a rajasic soak, it at the end is always a sting in there. Like a scorpion's sting is in the tail, right? So at the end, it will always kick you and go. It will always sting you and go. That is Rajasic Sukha. And we have many, many examples of it. Many examples of it. Want to buy a very expensive piece of jewelry. I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. The poor husband is collecting money for it. He collects the money, buys that piece of jewelry for his wife, right? She has got it also. Now she has got it also, and she wears it to a party and goes to the party. And everybody says, oh my God, how ugly is that? Where did you get this? Ho gaya na khatam. Bas. Then you get the sorrow of it. Okay. Somebody snatches it in the party, light gayi, someone has snatched that necklace and taken it, sorrow again. Or it is stolen from your home. sorrow again. There is an income tax raid in which it is found without any proof from where it came, sorrow again. When has it given you joy? Joy comes as a amrit right in the beginning, but it always stings you before it goes. Huh? And then the rajasic sukh mein log kya karte hain? Late nights, wine, women, overworking for material gain and profit, drink, drugs, all this comes under Rajasic Sukha, which seems very nice in the beginning, and towards the end, what happens to druggies and drunkards? Hangover, hangover. What happens to people who play dice? They say na, that the beginner is always lucky. In gambling, it is called the beginner's luck. Beginner's luck means in the beginning he will always earn. And then what happens? He loses and loses and loses with the hope of next time I will win, next time I will win. And ultimately he loses all. We have the famous case of Yudhishthir in the Mahabharata, isn't it? So nectarine in the beginning, first win is nectarine, last loss is like poison. So these are examples of rajo guna happiness. Shopping is another example. You go around shopping, ये भी खरीद लिया, वो भी खरीद लिया, वो भी खरीद लिया, and then in the end come back tired, hopeless, and when you come back you say, oh, this shirt I bought, look at this, it is torn, I never saw it. हो गया ना खत्म. Then another thing, oh, I got this for so much, and then you see your friend wearing the same thing for a much less price, again sorrow. तो सुख मिला थोड़ी देर के लिए, then sorrow. Then shopping always tires you out. So आपका क्या खर्च होता है? Energy, money, effort, time, all that is what you have already spent. Traveling is the same thing. Go here, go there, go there, go there. भटकते फिरिए, सारे में भटकिए. और फिर क्या? I've gone there, from there I want to go somewhere else, then somewhere else. Even planning for traveling is dukhmaya. Traveling is dukhmaya. And coming back is also, I so tired. So, bhaiya, never again. I'll never go there again. हो गया भैया, बहुत हो गया, बहुत देख लिया, no more. Party is another example. Giving a party 2-3 days before the party, क्या हो रहा है? Activity. Preparing this, preparing that. Take out the best of crockery, clean it, dry it, put it on the table, do this, arrange the house, do that, for that, send out invitations, who's coming, who's not coming, all that. And then after the party, a pile full of dirty utensils. Somebody saying, ye to tha hi nahi, wo to tha hi nahi. Somebody is saying, I was never called. What does she think she is? Koi kuch, kahin kuch. And again, the tiredness. What is spent? Energy, effort, time, money. Again, same thing, same loss you have. So you can go on multiplying the examples. Now, but it is like this, that Rajasic Sukh comes from the embrace of sense organs to the sense objects. It's always in contact. Ye dekho. It arises from the contact of the sense organs with the objects. And very soon you get disenchanted, leave it, and then you feel very, very sad. And it always दो चीजें होती हैं, दोनों दुखदाई हैं. Either you get over the fascination, that is dukhdayi, or that thing is stolen and gone or broken, that is dukhdayi. or you still have it, but you have an anxiety कि हाय ये चला गया तो क्या होगा. That is again दुखदाई. हाँ, वो गया नहीं है, but you have an anxiety. I must keep it carefully. ध्यान से धोना, ध्यान से रखना, टूट ना जाए, ये ना हो जाए. हाँ, and one maid washes it carelessly and it goes crashing down and broken. Dukh again. When has it given you sukha? Right in the beginning when you bought it. So beginning is nectarine, ending is dukhdaya. Always there is an anxiety about it somewhere. Next verse. यद्दग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्थं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्. This is about tamasic happiness. The pleasure which at first and in the sequel deludes the self. Here the happiness is that comes from delusion. Delusion of what? Delusion of the mind. Arising from sleep, indolence. Indolence is alas, ये है ना शब्द आपका. Nidra, alasya and pramad. These three things. It comes from these three things. And the third is heedlessness. Heedlessness is when the mind becomes careless, dull, not caring, not active, not fully alert and vigilant. That is called heedlessness. Pramad. Pramad is declared to be tamasic or dull. देखो, the most important thing in a man is his vivek buddhi. That is the discretionary power in a human being. That is his prizest possession in life. And anything that makes that dull or makes it deluded, you have made a big loss in life. Because every intelligent decision that your mind, body, and intellect takes comes under attack. You take dull decisions, unintelligent decisions, foolish decisions which even harm you. Because what then? ये देखो ये जो तीनों है ना, sleep, indolence and heedlessness, ये तीनों चीजें आती हैं. इसमें people look for शारीरिक सुख, happiness of the body. They and it is an anubandha. Anubandh means that it ties you up in knots. You are tied to. देखो गुरुदेव कहा करते थे that comfort comes as a guest and stays on to enslave you. This is Gurudev. That comfort comes to you as a guest and then stays on to enslave you. What happens after that? You can't do without it. You can't do without it. And comfort does what to the body and mind? It enslaves the body. It enslaves the mind. That is tamasic sukha. You can't do without which drugs, drinks, anything that is compulsive, overeating, gambling, ये सब के सब जो चीजें हैं, ये सब किस में आती हैं? They have a power over you, and anything that has a power over your mind, intellect and body is tamasic. वो आपके विवेक को नष्ट कर देते हैं. Destroy your discriminatory power, destroy your intellect's right thinking. All that comes under tamasic effect. And the happiness of this tamasic person is also comes from what? Making शरीर को शिथिल करती है, mind को शिथिल करती है. Isn't that what drinks and drugs do? Isn't that what sleep does? Can you think correctly in your sleep? Can you think correctly? It is under delusion. Even the dream that you are seeing in sleep is delusion. Or you are seeing nothing at all. You are under complete anesthesia. Deep sleep. So what is the intelligence there? Where is the intelligence? Huh? So he doesn't have the intelligence left to understand anything in life. But he is under the sukha of delusion. He is under intoxication. किसी भी a man who is drunk, उसको पूछो, he says, I'm very happy. Doesn't he say? I'm very happy. A druggie, I'm very happy. Suddenly he feels happy. What is that happiness? That happiness is destroying the mind. That happiness is a dulling of the mind completely. That is pramada, alasya. निद्रा में भी वही होता है. ये देखो यही वर्ड्स है ना, निद्रा, आलस्य एंड प्रमाद. These are not even emotionally satisfying. They do not satisfy you emotionally also. It is just they dull the mind so that you do not feel the pain, like anesthesia or morphine, painkiller. These are all what? These are tamasic sukha. They make you see things as they are not. They make you see a happiness which is not happiness, which is a mind destroying thing. हाँ? तो इसका ध्यान रखना. This is a soul destroying happiness. And this happiness is termed as, initially also is like visha. Towards the end also it is like visha. It never benefits you. It never benefits you ever. It stiffens the voice of the higher values in your life. It totally throttles the mind of spirituality. Any spiritual values are not there at all in a man who looks for tamasic sukha. Everything is just, and then these are, and tamasic sukh is habit forming. That's another thing that happens with tamasic sukh. Remember, it is habit forming. You go on and on doing it. You cannot come out of it. You know that druggies have to go to a rehab center, है ना? Rehab center में क्या होता है? They try to take him out of the habit. It is habit forming. It enslaves you. It binds you. कितना भी कह लो, कोई तंबाकू खाता है, कोई वो, things like pan, bahar, this, that, and the other, which contain elements of drugging you. You keep on counseling that person doesn't listen because he cannot help it. He will again and again go towards the drug, his hand will stretch out for a glass of whiskey. He can't help himself. The pull is so hard in cheezon ka. Okay? Now, so then the happiness that deludes you completely is the happiness that you get from tamasic sukha. Okay? So all this tamasic person does, he eats, he doesn't work, he goes on sleeping, goes on producing children, doesn't earn anything, and all that. This is the tamasic way of life. Now, next time we will do verse number 40. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेव वशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम्। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्।